Tonight, the historic moment in the House, voting along party lines to impeach President Trump.
On this vote, the yeas are 230.
It comes nearly 3 months after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced an impeachment inquiry.
I solemnly and sadly open the debate on the impeachment of the President of the United States.
The House weighing a vote on the impeachment of a president for only the third time.
This is a political vendetta. It has nothing to do with the crime committed. There was no crime.
The danger persists. The risk is real. Our democracy is at peril.
House Democrats charging the president with 2 articles of impeachment. Abuse of power that alleges President Trump solicited the interference of a foreign government, Ukraine, in the 2020 U.S. presidential election.
He solicited foreign interference before, he is doing it now, and he will do it again. The president is the smoking gun.
And obstruction of Congress that accuses the president of defying subpoenas issued by the House of Representatives.
We will hold this president accountable for corrupting our democracy. We will impeach Donald John Trump. We will clarify that in America, no one is above the law.
Democrats emphasize that Donald Trump's name will forever carry an asterisk, stamped in the history books, beginning tonight.
Whether Donald Trump leaves in 1 month, 1 year, or 5 years, this impeachment is permanent. It will follow him around for the rest of his life, and history books will record it.
When the Ukraine scandal first erupted last fall, Fox and Friends host Steve Doocy understood the stakes.
If the president said, I'll give you the money, but you got to investigate Joe Biden, that is really off the rails wrong.
Off the rails wrong, said the Trump promoter, but he also yearned for some other explanation.
If it's something else, it would be nice to know what it is.
The Fox friends came up with a counter-narrative that supported Trump. But now Bolton is a threat. According to the New York Times, Bolton's forthcoming book says that Trump did hold up aid to Ukraine to force a Biden probe. The president retweeted another Fox News personality, Dan Bongino, saying nobody cares about what Bolton has to say. That is perhaps the inevitable endpoint for Trump's defenders, and Fox is the stage to say it, like Reince Priebus did earlier this month.
Guess what? Sometimes the best defense is the so what defense.
Sorry. Brian Stelter is here with me to discuss. Also, Amanda Carpenter. Yeah, you got to love it. And Wajahat Ali. Boy, I've been watching. So what? I've been watching it. It's a total 180.
What do you think is the main inaccuracy or the main lie that's being told that you feel like you can correct?
That the president didn't know what was going on. President Trump knew exactly what was going on. He was aware of all my movements. I wouldn't do anything without the consent of Rudy Giuliani or the president. I have no intent, I have no reason to speak to any of these officials. I mean, they have no reason to speak to me. Why would President Zelensky's inner circle or Minister Avakov or all these people or President Poroshenko meet with me? Who am I? They were told to meet with me, and that's the secret that they're trying to keep. I was on the ground doing their work.
Well, I don't know him. I don't know Parnas, other than I guess I had pictures taken, which I do with thousands of people, including people today that I didn't meet, but just met him. I don't know him at all, don't know what he's about, don't know where he comes from, know nothing about him. I can only tell you this thing is a big hoax. It's a big hoax. We call it, this is the current hoax. We've gone through the Russian witch hunt. We've gone through a lot of them, from probably before I came down the escalator, but certainly since I came down the escalator. You take a look at what's happened. And in the meantime, our country, it doesn't matter what he's trying to probably make a deal for himself. I don't even know who this man is, other than I guess he attended fundraisers, so I take a picture with him. I'm in a room, I take pictures with people. I take thousands and thousands of pictures with people all the time, thousands during the course of a year. And oftentimes I'll be taking a picture with somebody, I'll say, I wonder what newspaper that one's going to appear in. No, I don't know him. Perhaps he's a fine man. Perhaps he's not. I know nothing about him. But I can tell you this.
More than just taking pictures of the president. He says that
I don't know him. I don't believe I've ever spoken to
You were
him.
on the phone with Giuliani, and he said.
I don't believe I've ever spoken to him.
It doesn't exactly. It doesn't make sense.
needs support from you.
A lot of the European countries, they're backstabbing us basically and dealing with Russia, and that's why you're having such. I think if you take a look, the biggest problem there, I think where we need to start is we got to get rid of the ambassador. She's still left over from the Clinton administration.
Where the ambassador? Where Ukraine?
Yeah, and she's basically walking around telling everybody, "Wait, he's going to get impeached. Just wait." I mean,
Really?
it's incredible. It's
She'll be gone tomorrow.
What's her name?
I don't remember
I don't
the
have her
name.
name back.
So one of the things that will be, now that we have a Secretary of State that's been sworn in.
Get rid of her.
Hooray. One of the first
Okay,
things
get her out
that
tomorrow.
will,
I don't care. Get her out tomorrow. Take her out. Okay?
Excellent.
Do it.
So the next thing is I'd love to do it under oath, and I welcome all of them. I welcome Rudy to come and testify under oath. I welcome the president to come testify under oath. I welcome Pompeo to come testify under oath, and definitely Attorney Bill Barr.
Mr. Barnes, what you have to share, is that going to be enough to change the minds of 67 senators? If you could say it closer, please.
I mean, I don't know. Some of these, like I said, the Trump world is like a cult, and a lot of these senators are in the cult. So I don't know if anything could change some of their minds, but hopefully the public will know what's going on, and hopefully maybe some of them, if we get witnesses and they really hear the truth, maybe, the conscience will overwhelm them and they'll understand.
The grave question the Constitution tasks senators to answer is whether the president committed an act so extreme and egregious that it rises to the level of a high crime and misdemeanor. Yes, he did. The president asked a foreign government to investigate his political rival. The president withheld vital military funds from that government to press it to do so. The president delayed funds for an American ally at war with Russian invaders. The president's purpose was personal and political. Accordingly, the president is guilty of an appalling abuse of public trust. What he did was not perfect. No, it was a flagrant assault on our electoral rights, our national security, and our fundamental values. Corrupting an election to keep oneself in office is perhaps the most abusive and destructive violation of one's oath of office that I can imagine.
The Senate, having tried Donald John Trump, President of the United States, upon 2 articles of impeachment exhibited against him by the House of Representatives, and 2/3 of the senators present not having found him guilty of the charges contained therein, it is therefore ordered and adjudged that the said Donald John Trump be, and he is hereby, acquitted of the charges in said articles.
George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and now we come to the present. Once again, we place our trust in the idea of a president, as we have from the beginning.
My fellow citizens,
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. From the beginning, America has been a nation defined by its people. At our founding, it was the American people who rose up to defend our freedoms and win our independence. It is why our founders began our great Constitution with 3 very simple words: we the people. It's a privilege to serve as the President of the United States, to stand here among so many great leaders of our past, and to work on behalf of the American people. The presidency of the United States is a role unique in the world, an office entrusted to each president by us, we the people.
Therein lies the genius of that new idea, now over 200 years old. A new idea our presidents have turned into a great American idea again and again.
We're clear. Okay. Okay.